So this part, it imports the file class from the Java input-output package, and this second line imports the ability to tell you that compilation failed because of the reference file not being found, because otherwise it would just be a general error message. The third line imports the ability to accept input from the keyboard or other inputs. I guess I technically don't need that for this project anymore, but it's still there. So public class, it defines the name of the class, which is Feagin run courses, and then the usual public static void main, although this one adds that, from what I understand, this bit acknowledges that file not found is a possible thing that can happen. The main, alright. File course, alright. This creates a file object in Java that represents a file named courses.txt. And this line, so an if statement that checks if course file does not exist. The exclamation point means it checks if it does not exist, which is interesting. And then it prints this error message if the file is missing or file not found. And the return, it closes the main method, which stops a crash from happening from Java trying to read a file that doesn't exist. So this creates a new scanner object named file scanner that reads the input represented by course file, by the file named course file. I'm explaining this badly. Okay, so this one creates a string variable named course name and another one named semester. And you know, string means it contains text, as opposed to integer, which contains numbers. So this one creates an integer variable named credits, and the other ones, they create a bunch of integer variables named total courses, fall, spring. I added a summer because, you know, why not? Good practice. It'll just come up 0 on this assignment because the courses.txt doesn't have any summer courses, but you know, I was feeling like doing something interesting when I first made this, and it's still there. Why not? But anyway, it sets them all equal to 0 initially. And I think this is the biggest visible change with this assignment. It also adds an integer variable called total sys courses and total sys credits, and sets them initially equal to 0. So this while starts a while loop that continues for as long as file scanner has more input tokens to read. This has next checks for more input. And so these 3 lines, so this one looks for the next token, which is expected to be sorted into the course names, and so on. It looks for the token after that, which is expected to be a credit, and it looks for the token after that, which is expected to be a semester, which is exactly the order these are in. Course name, credits, semester. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There we go. Okay. So this courses plus plus, the plus plus adds 1 to the value of the total courses count every time it encounters a new course. And this adds the value of credits to total courses. Which helps keep track of the number of total credits. And then these if statements. So this, it checks whether the course was taken in the fall, and it updates the total number of fall courses if it was. Yeah, updates the count by 1. And each of these statements does the same for spring and summer. It checks for if something falls in the spring category, it adds 1 to the total spring courses count. And the same for summer, but of course summer is going to be 0 in this case. And this is another new addition. It also counts the number of sys courses. It adds 1 every time it encounters a sys course. And then this last bit is pretty simple. It just outprints the totals messages, total courses taken, and then it referenced the variables that were being counted, total courses, total credits earned. It outprints that message and adds so and so on the end. I added a space there for easier reading. Now, for actually running because I've kind of actually been having a problem with these files, these programs that reference other files. Like, I got one of them to work once, but so I'm like 80% certain that I'm doing all of this part right, but that I'm like saving the courses.txt file wrong. So like I've saved it there, I've saved it there, I have it saved in like the actual file, and it's just like it's throwing up the file not found message correctly, but I figure I'll probably get some points off for that from this video, since I can't demonstrate that it works. Yeah, I've been meaning to go into the tutoring hall to see if they can help me with that.